Hey there, my friends. It's your Moby here. Welcome back to another Call of Dragons video. Today's video is going to be a two-part series on the hero guide, so don't miss out on the content. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get updates on upcoming videos. As for the first part, I am going to give you a short intro about heroes, the differences between primary and deputy commanders, how to improve hero skill, where to get tokens, and some commander pairings for early stages of the game for both F2P and low spenders. So let's get into the heroes of Call of Dragons. You might ask, what are heroes in Call of Dragons if you come from their game called Rise of Kingdoms, which is developed by the same team behind Call of Dragons? They're actually called commanders, so heroes are the ones that you will basically work on the majority of the time here in Call of Dragons. You can find them on the very bottom of the screen, click that, and you'll see the hero list. These are the characters that you are going to be using to do many of the actions in Call of Dragons. If you are going to be fighting, if you are going to be gathering resources, you are going to be using a hero. Investment in heroes is very important, so today we're going to explain everything that you need to know about heroes. To begin here, let's talk about the commander and deputy. So when you first start the game, you will only have the option to launch one hero at a time. As you can see here, we have our Walder assigned with Eliana, and Walder acts as the primary commander, and Eliana acts as his deputy commander. It says here when a commander is promoted to 3 stars and reaches level 20, you may assign them a deputy. Also, we can see in this statement, deputy's skill and legion capacity will have an effect on their legion, but their talents and equipped artifacts will not. So if I have any equipped artifact on deputy, it will not work. The same goes for the talent tree, but definitely, the legion capacity will increase. So that's the difference here between the commanders and deputies in Call of Dragons. One thing to kind of take a note in here, there are certain skills, like for example, let's look at Hosk. You will see that in his third skill, it has an indication in here that if Hosk is a commander, meaning the primary hero, that it will gain a defensive bonus, but if it's a deputy, it will gain a normal attack bonus. So if he is the second hero, he will only be able to provide one or the other in here. So that's a very important detail to understand as you get your basics in Call of Dragons. Now let's talk about how can you increase your hero's level. I actually have a very dedicated video for this, so make sure you check it out. There's going to be a card up in the video, make sure to check it out. In this game, there are mage and peacekeeping heroes, cavalry peacekeeping heroes. There is going to be infantry and the ones that can lead garrison as well. There are many roles in here. To improve your hero's skills in Call of Dragons, you need to get tokens for each hero, or you can get a universal token. For the legendary ones, you can purchase them through the shop when you go into the bundle. Events are also available to get hero tokens, such as the strongest lord in time to act events. When you select your faction, you'll get a lot more tokens for that hero. For example, if you choose the League of Orders faction, you'll get Walder as your starting hero, and you'll get more tokens for him in comparison to others. As you work on your heroes, it's best to work towards the first skill and get it to level 5 before unlocking any other skills. If you make a mistake, you can click into the skills, click retraining, and pay 800 gems to randomize the attributes of whatever you've unlocked. To get more heroes in Call of Dragons, there are only a few ways. You can participate in events such as the Strongest Lord event, Lucky Spin, or go for the gold chest where you're guaranteed an epic or legendary hero every 10 draws. Now, let's talk about the best commander pairs to work on in the starting game. For mages, if you're going for the League of Orders faction, you'll get Walder as your starting hero. Walder is a great commander to start with, and you should try to max him out as you'll get some tokens in main quests for your starting hero. The next commander you should focus on is either Velen or Alwyn. Velen is a legendary commander available in Gold Key, while Alwyn is a great pair for Walder, and you can use him if Velen is unavailable. If you spend a little bit in the game, you can go for Lilia, a legendary commander you can get from the VIP chest, and max her first skill only, which can still benefit you. The pair should be Lilia as primary and Walder as deputy. For infantry, Bakar is the only commander you can max easily as a free-to-play player or low spender. You can use Nika with 5111 and Garwood, which is a good garrison commander. Eliana is a great commander to pair with all, which is not infantry by the way, but she is great as deputy for almost all. Madeline is one of the top infantry commanders that you'll get in Lucky Spin/Wheel later in the game. For Cavalry, there are only 3 commanders available: Alistar, Emrys, and Bakshi. For free-to-play players, it's better to focus on mages or infantry, as cavalry commanders are difficult to obtain. But if you plan to go for the best cavalry pairings, Emrys as primary and Alistar as secondary is the way to go for F2P/low spenders. Try to get Emrys at least to 5111 to maximize his potential. For spenders, Bakshi as primary and Emrys as secondary is a great option. Moving on to archers, they are one of the best long-range damage dealers along with mages. There are only 3 archers available in the game: Nico, Guanwen, and Kinara. For F2P and low spenders, if you are going for archers, select Spring Wardens and get Guanwen. Max her in the early stages and pair her with Nico, which is available from the gold chest. Try to get Nico to 5111 if possible. For spenders, your first wheel should be Kinara, which is a good option. Get her by spending gems and get her to 5111. Start using her as primary and Nico as deputy. You can max her by saving legendary tokens, and buy wheels, it's up to you. But she is a great commander. Finally, flying units are also good, and once you get T4 flying units, they give a 300 plus magic attack if you are in the League of Order. The important flying commanders are Craig, Atheus, and Thea. The best pairs are Atheus/Craig and Atheus/Thea. So, if you are going for flying units, keep these commanders in mind. That's all for this first section about heroes. In the upcoming section, we will cover a lot more about rage and skills, hero stamina, and some meta pairings. Thank you for watching, and if you're still new here, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and never miss out. If you liked the video, share it with your friends. Until then, goodbye from your Moby.